Oh my gosh. Welcome to another episode of everybody's favorite live Twitch talk show podcast. How you been? With Brett the Mott. I, of course, am your fearless leader, Brett the Mott. Soaks, we got something special in store for you tonight, and I could not be more excited. I say that every week. I couldn't be more excited. Brett, your excitement don't mean much no more, buddy. And yeah, maybe that's true. I maybe dole out the excitement a little bit in excess. But you guys who say that obviously ain't never met my friend, Stacey Tasty. Stacey and I go back. You know, there was a time in my life where I had to hold down two jobs, so I got a job working at Red Lobster. And Stacey and I worked together there for a little while. Just such a delight. She's going to be great to chat with, talk to, and I hope you all enjoy it. So that's coming up a little bit later. But folks, I got to talk about something. Something's kind of serious. It's been a fucking stupid week. Let me just go ahead and get that out there. Personal stuff about me aside, that shit don't matter right now. Okay? Yeah, is Brett the Mott going through a crisis, a personal crisis? Absolutely he is. No doubt about that. Personal crisis all the way. But I gotta tell you something about these guys that I'm seeing on my TV going up to the Capitol building and trying to run it over. Okay, listen. Bob and Connor and Hunter and Daniel and all these guys, go to fuck home. Just go ahead and go to fuck home. Okay? I'm gonna be cussing a lot today, folks, because Brett's pissed off. These guys just gotta go home. It's ridiculous. Who likes to go to those buildings? First of all, I'm never going to go to Washington, D.C. The architecture is disgusting. There's nothing good to look at. You think I want to go hang out with 100,000 ugly people? No, thank you. If I want to hang out with 100,000 ugly people, I just hang out here. It's just ridiculous. Shut your mouths. Zip up your jackets. Pull your hat down too far or too far back. Hold your stupid sign, get a splinter on the piece of the fence that you used to make your stupid sign, and go home. I get it. You guys probably hate being in your homes too because you don't have good relationships with your family. Believe me. I've been there. I get it. You're pissed off. But go home. Don't make us have to deal with your bullshit. I mean, seriously. Not only that, but you're sitting there on the internet. Here's another thing. Unplug your internet. I know, listen, there's probably some people who are watching this who might have been down there. I really hope not. I'll tell you that. If you're watching this and you went down there, fuck off. Unplug your internet. Turn off the stream. I don't want you here. Never did want you here. All right? But I can't even get it. I can't even begin to understand. And I mean this. I hope every single person who went down there to the Capitol on Wednesday gets arrested or just gets completely, I want their lives ruined. I want them to feel half of what I've felt in the last 6 months. How about that? I sentence all these guys to the DeMott treatment, which is every person that they've ever loved looking them in the eyes and saying, we don't want a relationship with you no more. I want them to feel a crippling sense of sort of stuck. I want them to be stuck in this sense of they can't do nothing, so they don't do nothing. I want them to all get demoted. I want Wives, husbands, out of the house. Kids, taken away. I want all these guys to have, all I want them to have is their American flag underwears. I want that to be their only thing that they got anymore. American flag underwears. If you got those, hey, that you love the flag so much, put it next to your penis and your butthole. Hey, maybe that's enough to keep you happy. I don't know. I'm just a little pissed off, folks, because I try not to get political, but then I see this kind of shit happening, and I'm just like, you can't not be political. To not be political in this day and age is to be wrong. So I can only be political in the way that I know how to be political, and that is all you Chases and you Brandons and you Bucks and you Michaels and Lukes, go the fuck home and stay the fuck home. Shoot your little gun in your basement. All right? I don't care. Keep your gun. Just don't take it out of your house. I'm so sick of these guys. Just so sick of these guys. Be a real man, all right? Like me. Let me be the model. Complain on the internet. That's fine. That's what we all do. It's easy. Just spark up the old internet and complain. The second you take it out into the world is the second I don't want to hear it no more. But given all the craziness that's happening in the world, I decided, folks, I'm tired of just sitting here in my little studio and not doing anything positive with my life. So I decided that I'm gonna power through the personal struggles that I've been going through here recently, and I'm gonna start trying to do some good. So I'm taking this opportunity now to announce a new program, a new charity drive. You guys all heard of Toys for Tots. You know about Toys for Tots. It's the Christmas thing where you give everybody, your, you give all the kids a toy. You donate an unopened toy, and then the guys in the Salvation Army go and give these unopened toys to kids, right? We all know about that. Well, introducing a new program by none other than me, and it's called Stuff for Students. Okay? Students, learning, education. And before you come at me and you say it sounds like you just thought of that thing and you decided that it was quippy and catchy, so you go with this thing without a plan. No, okay? Most kids are students, right? So, if you want to give kids stuff, I'm starting Stuff for Students. How does this program work? Okay. I definitely have some of the details figured out. I know the school that is around here, okay? And I started taking stuff that I don't use no more. We've expanded this so it isn't just unopened toys and stuff. This is stuff. Because kids don't just need toys, they need other things. Like if you got bed frames, you got mattresses, you got old toys that your kids don't use no more. If you've got school supplies, if you've got kitchen appliances that kids can use, any of this kind of stuff, I'm going around town. I got a trailer, a big open trailer that I got on the back of my big van, and I'm taking it around, and I'm taking everybody's stuff. All right? And I've already sought some investment from some local businesses. A lot of people are saying, Brett, it sounds like what you're doing is like a junk drive, or you're like clearing people's old crap, and then you're going to just pawn it off on local schools. And I'll say this, no, that's not what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this thing, after I get everybody's stuff in it, pile it up as much as I can, and then I'm going to come here, and I'm going to dump it all in my backyard, and then I'm going to go through it, okay? I'm not just going to go dump all this stuff on the school property and say, here, deal with this. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to organize it. You know, if you've got a grill, if you got an old grill you want to get rid of, I'll put it in one spot. I'll separate it into piles. Cooking materials, clothing, toys, old video game systems, electronics, those kind of things. I'll even take food if you've got food, I'll take that as well. And then I'm going to organize it. I'm going to spread it all out in my backyard. And then I'm going to talk to the local schools. And I'm going to say, why don't you schedule a field trip for each grade to come to my house? And all these kids could just walk through the backyard, look at the organized stuff, and take an item that they want. How about that? It seems like a great idea to me, folks. So if you want to get involved, send me an email to howyoubeen@gmail.com and get involved today in the Stuff for Students. I'm trying to expand this program to not just be in my general area. I'm trying to go national with this. So if you could, send me an email with some support. Let me know any kind of stuff that you have that you'd like to donate. And let me know if you can volunteer in any sort of fashion. That'd be wonderful. Because I really want to take the next couple weeks and I want to get this Stuff for Students thing off the ground, because with all the bad stuff that's going on in the world, I think it's about time that somebody did something good, because it seems like ain't nobody doing nothing good, and it ain't getting press. I'm trying to just get and again, this isn't some kind of press play, okay? I know a lot of people think, Brett, anytime you ever do anything altruistic, it seems like it's just so you can get people to pay attention to you. And I get where you're coming from with that, but I assure you guys that it ain't true, okay? I assure you guys that this is not some sort of a big publicity stunt for the podcast or for me personally, or to prove to anybody that I'm doing good. This is just a good thing that I'm trying to do to better the community. That's it, okay? So don't come at me with any crap about it. But folks, I'm gonna skip the mailbag today because I want to get straight into my guest, because I'm really excited to talk to Stacey. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to a quick break and get Stacey on the line, and we're gonna get Stacey in here and we're gonna chat a little bit. So folks, stick around for just a few minutes while I do that. And yeah, just hang tight. I'll be back in just a sec. Oh yeah, folks, how you doing? I know that the break is the hardest part, huh? Everybody's sitting there, they're like, "Oh, when's Brett gonna get back on the line?" I don't know. Oh, it sucks that he ain't here. Oh, it sucks so bad. But folks, I'm back and I'm ready to introduce you all to, honestly, and I say this with the utmost seriousness, this is one of my favorite people on the whole freaking planet. And that is my ex-coworker at Red Lobster, Miss Stacey Tasty. Oh, Stacey, how you doing?
Oh, Brett, I'm like so good. Thank you so much for having me. Brett, I've missed you.
I know, Stace. I'll tell you this. My life got about 90% less fun when I stopped working at the Red Lobster, and I attribute most of that to you not being around no more.
Yeah, Brett. Oh my God. Like, I got fired. You remember?
I know.
Okay, so oh my God. It was wild, Brett. You remember, I just was watching this documentary on like shrimps and stuff and like lobsters and remember Brett, I like told you all about it, and I was just like, I can't fathom serving like my friends to people, you know, like the shrimps and the lobsters were my friends, so like I had to like let them loose. I said, Lulu, Carlita, Mona, Frederick, Carlton, you're free, go. And like they didn't fucking move.
I know.
And then like it was like this. You were there.
I was there.
No,
I was there. And I'll say this: one of the saddest days of my life was you coming back into the kitchen, because as everybody know, the audience doesn't know, you were a server. I was sort of the expediter, so I just kind of helped the chefs get the food to you so you could take it out. A lot of people said I was a bad middleman.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I think it's just maybe not my strongest suit.
I don't agree with that either.
But when you came to me and I was standing there on the line, and the chefs were cooking, finishing up meals for a 10 top, and you came up to me, you said to me in a very serious tone, a more serious tone that I've ever heard you have. You said, Brett, it's go time. And listen, I dropped everything because I told you, you had convinced me.
You literally dropped the plates in your hand. You were like holding a basket of Cheddar Bay biscuits in one hand and an Aztec chicken Alfredo linguine thing in the other hand. And you just like dropped it. And that's when I was just like, Brett is here. He is here for the cause. He is a down ass bitch.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I do think that I'm a down ass bitch. And I've always said that. Always said that. I'm down for any cause. You can ask my viewers. I just railed on these guys doing crazy shit in Washington because I'm down for every cause. If there's injustices, human, animal, otherwise, I'm there and I'm on the side of the person who's getting hurt. Always. Yeah.
Wait, you were for what happened with those guys in Washington?
No.
Wait,
no.
Brett, what are you saying? Like you're for it?
No, Stacey, no. I'm completely against it.
I just got like confused. I was like,
no.
What kind of down ass bitch is my friend? You know?
No, Stacey. No. Listen, I tried to help you save Frederick and Mona and Lisa. And Roger
and
Carlita. I tried. I helped you save those people. Okay. And I call them people. I mean, that's a huge thing. That means a lot.
People.
Yeah.
They are people.
Yeah.
Like, I have long nails right now because I want to feel like a lobster, you know? So, like, when I see someone, I'm like, you better watch out. Stacey's lobster hands are coming for you. So, like, that's where I'm at right now, Brett.
And I remember the first time you got written up at Red Lobster because somebody ordered a lobster dinner, and you did a whole like sort of it seemed like a prepared piece of like sort of art asking them not to do it, and you performed as a lobster.
Yeah, I stripped down to my red onesie, slipped on my claws, flopped on the table, and I said, why would you eat me out like that? Why would you do that? Don't eat me out, please, no. And I was like, which is what I feel like lobsters would sound like if like lobsters had musicality, you know? And then that table was just like, stop saying eat her out or whatever. And I was like, no, I don't mean that. I'm not talking about my pussy. I'm talking about like the lobsters.
Yeah.
And then this like kid started crying, and I was like, suck it up, suck it back up. And they're like, that's not how tears work. And I was like, just do it. And then I was like, wait, cry on me because that's like ocean water. And then they were like, this has gone too far. So yeah, like I remember.
And I'll just clarify that the table actually was not offended by the fact that you were sort of taking a stand against lobsters being murdered for food. They specifically had issues with the sort of the accidental, quote unquote, sexual elements of your performance.
Yeah, and like that to me was like I was like, how are you like missing the point so hard, you know? Like, just because I said eat me out as a lobster doesn't mean like I'm insinuating that I want you to like eat my lobster pussy. Lobsters don't like have pussies.
Exactly. We did the research. Folks, you heard it here first. Lobsters don't have pussies. They don't
have pussies.
And I would make the argument, Stacey, that because with a lobster, you're eating the meat out of the shell.
Yeah.
You are eating a lobster out. When you eat it, you're eating it out. Yes,
Brett.
Yeah.
Yes.
I told
you. You fucking get it.
I'm telling you, I'm there.
You fucking get it, Brett. That's why I've always like liked you.
I know.
As like a friend.
I know. It's crazy. And also, not to keep harping on it, but you're also eating out. You're eating at a restaurant. You're
eating out at a restaurant.
Yeah.
You're eating out of your home, out of your car. You're like not in your car eating, you know?
Exactly.
And that's like where I do a lot of my eating.
Hey, in a car. I'm not going to sit. You know what I think the weirdest thing is? When you work at a restaurant and you when you get free food and they make you sit back like next to the like dishwasher to eat your free meal. It's like, provide humane conditions for me to eat my nasty employee meal. It's disgusting.
And honestly though, like employee meals, do you remember when I led like the strike against eating employee meals? Because I was like, you guys cannot serve us rotten food. Like I got my Caesar salad once and it was like, it had like chunks of blue cheese in it. And I was like, there's no blue cheese in a Caesar salad. And then the cook was like, that's not blue cheese. That's like rotted shit. And I was like, oh my God, this is the worst. And then we like marched for a little bit, but then like we all had to like go back to work and it like, it wasn't that great. But like, I love taking a stand.
And I'll tell you this, I loved that you would take a stand because I'm the kind of guy, I'll admit it. I'm not the kind of guy who's going to say something first. I'm not the kind of guy who's going to sort of be the guy who sort of stands up, puts his neck out on the line and says, does anybody else think this is weird? But the second there is any support for something, I will jump in so quickly. I will jump in so fast as soon as I know that I'm going to have some backup.
I mean, I think that's a perfect way to live because, like, not everybody can be a leader, you know? Because then we'd all be, like, presidents and stuff, and there'd be no House of Representatives, and there would be no senators if we were all presidents, you know? Some people have to be at the lower level, like a city council member, you know? If life were the government.
Yeah. Oh, see? That's the problem. People think it's bad to be a follower. It's bad to be like sort of second, third, fourth, fifth in command. I think there is no first in command if there's not a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. You know, everybody's you got to fill out the bottom.
You know, like Spock isn't the captain.
No,
captain is captain.
And imagine if Spock was trying to be the captain. No charisma.
It would be crazy. His ears are too big. He'd be listening to everything.
Yeah, and talking like some kind of like weird little robot guy. No, when's the last time you heard a robot that had that little charisma? You gotta have charisma. And Spock, I hate to tell you, bud, you don't have charisma.
You don't have it. You heard it here first. Stacey and Brett do not think you have the charisma.
No.
I am so sorry. Pack up your sewing machine and go home.
Yes, because you are on Project Runway, Spock, and we don't want you here no more. All right?
Yeah, we don't want you. Okay.
But Stacey, I didn't want to bring up the firing for the lobster thing because I wasn't sure if you were like happy with people knowing this kind of stuff. But now that you brought it up,
I mean,
I feel like it's out in the open. How are you sort of processing the sort of fallout from that? Because I, of course, left Red Lobster willingly. You were fired unceremoniously. How are you sort of dealing with the fallout of that?
Yeah. I mean, the fallout was like a little harsh because I was trying to get like another job and everyone at Olive Garden had heard about it. Everyone at Chile's had heard about it. Everyone at TGI Fridays had heard about it. And I was like, I'm not even applying to work at TGI Fridays. I do not want to look like a referee wearing red suspenders. Okay.
I swear.
And then like the only place, what?
I was just going to say, I'm sick of these chain restaurants having such passing intelligence back and forth. It's like, come on, guys, you're on different teams. They're on different teams, and they're passing intelligence back and forth better than the FBI.
Yeah, it's like you wouldn't if I can't think of a good analogy, but I was just so upset, and I was like just trying to get a job because I have mouths to feed because I took home all of the lobsters from Red Lobster and I have to feed them.
I know. I was gonna say I knew that was happening. Have these lobsters all made it? Because this has been quite a while ago that this all went down. How are the lobsters doing these days?
They're doing really well. Roger sleeps with me in the bed sometimes. Carlita, she's always like, put me back in the water, and I'm like, you stupid bitch. Okay. I did take the shrimps, but turns out once they're in a bag, they're dead. So that was really upsetting for me to find out. I tried to put them in the water with the lobsters, and they just fucking sunk to the bottom, and I was like, oh my god, are they fat? What's happening? Turns out they're dead. When they're in a bag, they're dead.
I feel bad not letting you know that the shrimp that we used at Red Lobster was all frozen. Those shrimps had been dead for a long time. A long time.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking.
What did you end up doing with these shrimps once you got home and you realized that you had a bag of dead shrimps?
So I had to scoop them out of the whole aquarium, which was devastating because I was like, oh my god, I dumped dead brethren in the tank with my living brethren, and I was like, this is dumping just dead bodies into your bathtub while you're taking a bath, and then someone scooping them out. So then I had to scoop them out, and then I had a proper burial for them in the backyard. So I have hundreds of small graves in my backyard with tiny headstones for each of the shrimp that passed away in the bag, and it was so time consuming, but I think all of the lobsters really appreciated it, and they got a chance to mourn.
I'm sure, because what that said to all those lobsters who was watching was that their lives mattered to you. Okay? If you went through all that trouble to make sure that these shrimps, who had been dead for a long time, got proper burials, and you're taking up space in your backyard for 100 little shrimp graves, those lobsters know that the second that the lights go off for them, you're going to treat them with that same kind of respect. And so I think it's important. I think it's important to do that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I think it's so important.
Thank you. I will say my boyfriend didn't understand what was going on, and he was like, Stacey, are you fucking nuts? And I was like, no, no, I've dedicated my life to animals, George. So George, he broke up with me.
Oh,
so
Stace,
I am now
sorry.
single and ready to crawl, wiggle, mingle.
Crawl,
I'm single and ready
wiggle.
to mingle.
Oh, hey, all three. I bet you'd do any of those three things. You'd crawl, you'd wiggle, or you'd mingle.
Yeah, I definitely would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that's a bummer to hear about George, because I remember George used to hang out. He used to hang out at the restaurant sometimes. He'd come in and he'd sit at the little booth next to the bathroom, because that's the one that nobody ever wanted to sit at. George would just sit there and order food and just hang out all night. That's a bummer to hear that you guys ain't together no more.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really upset about it. I just didn't understand. I was like, you knew I was heavy fucking with the lobsters. You knew I loved lobsies. You knew I loved, everything in the sea. What changed for you? And then he was like, don't ask me questions. And I was like, okay, cool. And then he was like, I have to go. And I was like, why are you yelling? And then he was like, I've always spoken this volume. And I was like, oh, I guess you have. And then he just left.
I mean, listen, I'll say this, Stacey. Love will blind you to people's flaws. And the second that you realize that he wasn't hard fucking with the lobsties, as you said, I think the sort of love goggles just got removed. And you started to realize, listen, I'm the kind of person who lets people live. You know what I mean? And I noticed that the volume of his voice was pretty loud when he used to come into the restaurant. And it wasn't that this guy was just angry all the time. It was just that he had a really loud voice.
No.
Even if he's just talking about anything, talking about the weather, he's like, it's really sunny today. And I'm like, this is just what this guy's voice is like. I'm not gonna hate. I ain't gonna hate on this guy because it's his thing. So it's a bummer to hear that you didn't even realize that that's how he was.
No, I had no idea. I guess he was just like, hello. And I was like, oh my God, like I've never had someone say hello to me so aggressively. And like, I fell for that. And then like, I guess it just didn't bother me. And then when he was like talking to me aggressively about the things I loved, then I was like, oh my God, this is abuse. You're abusing me with the volume of your voice. And then he was like, don't say that. And I was like, okay, I mean, you can't police what I say. And he's like, I'm not a cop. And I was like, I didn't say you're a cop. You can use the term policing when you're not speaking about the authorities. And he was like, I don't understand. And I was like, I don't know if I can talk to you right now. It's just like, it was bad. It was like bad. Like the end was bad. The end was bad.
Yeah. You kept a remarkably cool temper in that conversation. Hearing what he said and hearing you just calmly explaining to him, I'm glad you got rid of this guy because George is just
thank you.
He ain't worth your time if he ain't gonna understand the things that you love. Okay, because I completely understand you wanting to show respect to these friends that you'd made in the shrimps. And the fact that a person who says that they love you wouldn't be able to see that and understand that just ain't the way that relationships are supposed to go, Stacey. That just ain't it. There's a lot of I would say it's probably pretty similar to how the things with me and BB, my ex. I don't know if BB ever came into the restaurant. I don't know if you ever met her, but the end of our relationship.
I don't think I ever met BB, but like I've heard about BB, and I was like, oh my God, is he dating BB Newirth? And then everyone was like, no, Stacey, no, she's a Hollywood lady. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh my God, is he dating BB, the lady who invented the clothing Bebe? BB with the rhinestones? And they were like, oh my God, Stacey, no, he's not dating the baby or BB that you know. So tell me about BB or Bebe. Is it Bebe or BB?
It's BB. It's BB. No, we were high school sweethearts and we got married. Some people would say too young. And then, over the course of the last couple of years, things just started to get kind of tough. And I would say this, I think now that you explain how your relationship fell apart, in that you sort of had this realization that the guy you were with just sort of is a way that you can't tolerate, I feel like a similar thing happened with me and BB, and the roles were the same. She realized that the guy that I am is not necessarily a guy that she could tolerate. And she decided to move back up to Pittsburgh, and she left me. And I'm doing my best.
Pittsburgh.
I know. And it sucks, but so I'm with you. I understand how it's going. I understand the emotions involved in dealing with something like that. And I find the only way that you can sort of get through it is to just squash it down as best you can, not let yourself get upset about it, and just go about the rest of your life like nothing's wrong, and eventually fake it till you make it is what they say. It's the best way to get over it.
That is what they say, and I'm just like, what are we all faking, and what are we trying to make? Do you know?
And that's a really good question, Stacey. That's a really good question. What are we faking, and what are we trying to make? Because I think
what is it?
I think the answer to that question is different for everybody. You know what I mean? For me, I think the thing I'm trying to fake is that I'm happy, and the thing that I'm trying to make is me being happy.
Okay. Because like if you take it into like a context where you're talking about like tangible things, like you can fake baking a cake all you want, but like you have to make it. Fake it till you make it. Oh, okay. So no, it works for tangible things too.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like on board with the phrase. I was having problems with it, but like I'm on board.
You found it. You understand now.
I did.
And that is true. You can fake. Although not to pull this phrase apart more than it needs to be pulled apart in this specific moment.
I think we should do a deep dive into this phrase.
Dive on fake it till you make it, because you could fake a cake you could fake that you're making a cake.
Yeah.
But if you don't know how to make the cake, and you can't actually take the steps to make the cake happen, you ain't never going to make that cake. You're going to fake it until you're dead. So maybe the real thing is fake it for a little while, then start thinking about, okay, what do I have to learn in order to then be able to actually make the thing? How do I need to change as a person in order to make the thing happen? In this case, you got to look up a recipe on the internet, and you got to sit
on the Google.
Yeah, you got to sit on the Google in the kitchen until you get the ratios of ingredients right. And then you got yourself a cake. So you fake it until you can't fake it no more.
Until you, yeah. Like, Brett, I'm on board. Like, that is it. That, like, you were speaking to my soul. My, like, bones were shivering because I was feeling that so hard.
Yeah. Good. Oh, hey, that's good. I'm glad that I can make people feel anything these days. But I'll tell you this, though. I think I'm doing good.
Yeah.
In terms of the faking it till you make it.
I think you're doing great.
I think in the last couple, I found stuff that makes me excited. And that's the thing. I'm doing this thing called Stuff for...
What's the thing that makes you the most excited?
I was going to say, I'm starting this thing called Stuff for Students, Stacey. It's like Toys for Tots.
Okay.
But it's less specific to Christmas, and it's not just toys. It's stuff. You could do anything. You could do anything. You could give me anything. So do you have any stuff that you would want to get rid of, Stacey, that I could then give to students to help them?
Yeah, I've got like a bunch of pants with holes in the crotch because my thighs rub together. So like maybe you could give them like those pants to the kids, and the kids can sew them together and they can have pants for themselves.
It's a project. It's a project. I mean, speaking of Project Runway, I mean, I know you are a huge fan of the show, and I know you make some of your own clothes. Maybe
I do. I make most of my own clothes and my costumes for performance art.
Yeah. Oh, we haven't even had a chance to talk about your performance art besides the lobster thing, folks. Stacey is renowned, and I think renowned is the word that you use when it spooks a lot of people, right? Because some people are pretty scared of your performance.
I think so. Yes, very, very scared, because the last one I did, I crawled out of the ocean and I had recorded the sounds of a whale dying that like had died a couple months before, that like researchers had like gotten the audio. So then I was like playing on this like mega speaker, and then I came out of the ocean, didn't warn anybody, started out on a boat, swam to shore, and then was wearing this like beautiful costume, and then it was like, and then I like emerged from the water, and then I gave a very big long speech about like what we're doing to the ocean is like killing the whales and shit, and a bunch of children were crying, and I was like, good, I'm glad you're fucking feeling something. So yeah, and then like there was another performance art where like I did this beautiful ornate costume where I was like leaves, and I climbed up a tree, and then I would fall out of the tree when people would walk by, and I'd go, bam, isn't that scary?
And a lot of people were like, I remember I read a couple of op-eds in the newspaper that were just like, this performance, quote unquote, performance was something. No idea what her intent was or what the message was. Because it seemed to people that you were just sort of reenacting the process of fall happening with trees, with leaves falling off of a tree. And then saying that was scary. So I think it just confused people, and I think the reason that this confused people is because a lot of people didn't see the little plaque that you set up that explained the piece.
Yes.
Which if they had just sat for a second and read that, they would have understood.
Yes. Just for a second and read it, you would know what my art was like about and what I was doing. But like everyone is ignorant with little eyes and they don't read.
Right. Most people could not read this sign because notoriously people around here's eyes are too small to read. It's a genetic thing with people in our area where their eyes are just too small to read. And what they would have found out though.
Eyes.
Yes. What they would have found out, though, if they had read this plaque, was that the leaves falling out of the trees are about accepting the inevitability of time passing and letting yourself feel it. You know, the ouch, the ow. Falling out of the trees.
The impact of like feeling the ground. Yeah, you get it, Brett. You get my art. Like this
I feel like we've
nice.
I know we've always had a little connection mentally where I got the things that you were saying, even if other people were calling you crazy or they were calling me crazy. I was like, you guys just don't get it. Stacey's on another level. She's in 2080 while we're sitting back here in 2021. She's just on a different mental wavelength.
Time it's better. It's better in 2080. Things are better. Guess what? There's no more COVID. There's Robid.
No way.
That's the new thing that's killing people.
So it's not
Robid,
COVID. It's a new virus.
We got a cure for it too.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna have a new virus in 2080.
See,
I'm kidding, Brett. I'm kidding. I'm not actually in 2080.
No, I know that.
I tricked you, bitch.
I knew it. No, see, you tricked everybody's watching. Everybody who's watching right now is just like, oh my gosh, she's really in 2080. I knew you were goofing off. I knew you were just goofing off.
Just a little goof.
I hope there's no
Brett,
Rovid.
Can we just talk about your decor?
Sure.
Can we talk about your decor?
Yeah.
There's this like big light. Like, do you have a big ring light that's bouncing into a mirror?
Okay, so what you're seeing is the audience has never seen what you're seeing because it's a different camera than the one. And I like this. This is a funny peek behind the curtain. This is a different light that only you could see that is creating the beautiful edge on my hair and shoulder in the main camera. But I have another camera that only you could see.
What? You have two cameras?
I do. It's a pretty high-tech setup.
So this is a multicam.
It's
a multicam.
It's a double cam. It's a two cams. It's a two cams. I got one.
Okay.
It's a two cam
set up.
It's a two cam Sam.
Okay. A two cam Sam.
Yeah, exactly.
Two cam Sam.
Yep. It's a two cam Sam.
Okay. So like. That's crazy. I only have like one camera. I could never do a two cam setup. So wait, are people seeing me? What are they seeing? Just
they
like
are.
this because I only have one camera?
No, they're seeing.
Okay, that was a dumb question.
I got a setup. It's actually pretty high tech. Where I got you in one side of the screen, and then I got me littler in the bottom side of the screen. And what they're seeing is you on the Zoom call, and then they're also seeing a feed of me from my main.
How did you do this?
I'll tell you this, Stacey.
How did you do this?
It took me probably a month and a half to figure out what I needed to make it happen. And then when I started doing the show, I had no fucking clue what I was doing. And it did not look good at all. Well, it looked okay. But I didn't understand how the two camera setup could make it look better. And then I figured it out finally. It's because
that's like incredible.
Thank you, Stacey. Nobody has ever, honestly, the only people who've ever commented on my setup have commented negatively about this. They said that this string of Christmas lights looks stupid and looks just thrown up. I think it's a nice little accent.
Oh, see, like I can't even see it. So the people watching can see the Christmas lights.
Yes.
And they don't like it?
There's two. They like.
Well, tell them they are getting entertainment. They are getting entertainment, so they have to just deal with whatever room you're going to entertain them out of. Okay?
Stacey,
like you don't have to talk to nobody. You can sit at home and not do a thing. But you are being benevolent to the world, to the universe, saying, I will talk to you and I'll bring on guests who care. You know? So tell everyone to eat shit and fucking piss on a doorstep.
Classic Stacey retort: eat shit and piss on a doorstep. That was the another time that Stacey got written up at the Red Lobster was because she got a shift. She had to get a shift covered to be out of town, and the boss said she had to do it with more than 24 hours notice. And she was just like, who cares? And the boss gave her shit about it, and she goes, you know what? Eat shit and piss on a doorstep. And the boss said, "Okay,
and
well, you can go
that's how he
home."
knew I was mad.
Yeah, you were pissed. You were more pissed than I ever seen a person be. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, really angry.
Yeah.
Like, don't make up rules. If I get the shift covered, I get the shift covered.
Yeah.
So wait, let me tell you, I'm finally employed again. It took a long time for me to find employment.
That was going to be my next
now
question.
I work at Dairy Queen.
Oh!
Yeah.
Dairy Queen's like my fave. Oh.
Really? I fucking love Dairy Queen.
Oh.
I make peanut butter parfaits all day, every day. I am the dilly bar specialist.
Specialist?
And also, we don't serve specialists. Like, I can fucking do a dilly bar, okay? Also, we don't sell food at this one, so there are no animals being handed over to people to munch on.
Fantastic.
Just cow's milk.
It's desserts only. And at last I heard cows don't die when you milk them, folks. So PETA or whatever other weird, what other animal organizations. And also, I guarantee you that Dairy Queen is a corporation that treats their cows with respect. Okay? Dairy Queen milk.
They do.
They treat their cows with respect. So everybody who wants to say that Dairy Queen is bad, I got one word for you. No.
Well, they're not, because they're franchised. So like, you're part of the Dairy Queen family, but like, we run our store ourselves. So we locally source the milk from the cows. We have 6 cows outside the store.
You source it from them directly.
Rachel?
You work the deal out with just the cows specifically.
Yes.
Rachel?
We do. Rachel is one. Bobby is another. Posh Spice is another. Scary Spice is another. Baby Spice is another. And Sporty is another. And Sporty never wants to give up her milk. You have to steal it.
Okay. So Ginger got sort of kicked out of the group here, it seems.
Ginger ran away.
Oh, no. There was a Ginger Spice cow, but Ginger ran away?
Yeah. Have you ever heard the legend of the cow in the woods? That's Ginger. She ran away and she haunts the woods. You've never heard the story of the cow that haunts the woods? Where you go for a walk in the woods and you just hear, "Move, bitch." That's Ginger.
There's just a cow that screams, "Move, bitch." Oh, I gotta look into these local legends.
That's where Ludacris got his inspiration.
Oh, it all makes sense.
He went for a hike in the woods.
It all makes sense. I ain't even gonna question it, Stacey. That makes sense. You just made it make sense right there. Oh, oh, that's crazy. Well, that's great that you guys treat these cows with respect. And I'm assuming Ginger didn't run away because of mistreatment.
No, Ginger had she kind of was rebelling, and she was like, "I don't want to give you the milk," and we were like, fine, not taking her milk, and we were like, you can live here or whatever. And then she so we took her off, we took her out of her little pen or whatever that she was living in, and then she would roam around. She would stay on the property, and then there was this one Monday where she was further out than she normally was, and we were like, huh, weird. She'll come back. And then Tuesday she was even further out, and we're like, huh, that's even weirder.
She's testing the
Every
limits.
day she inched herself closer and closer to the woods until we were like, Ginger, are you coming back? And she went, no. She left and went into the woods.
Now, see, it's interesting to me to think about how cows can communicate with humans. They just always say moo first. They can say,
I think it's just to be
short words.
Don't be scared. I'm still a cow, but I've got something on my brain.
That's incredible. But that's incredible that you got a job. DQ's a great place to work. I mean, blizzards are the best dessert in history. Don't at me.
Oh.
Don't at me. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Don't at me on this. Blizzards are the best desserts that you can get.
They are the best. I don't think anyone would at you. Listen, it's your favorite candy and or cookie mixed up in some ice cream that is soft serve, and then I hold it upside down to prove to you how thick it is. Yes, come on.
It's a show, and it makes sense to me that you would like it so much because there is a performance element.
There is a performance element, and I Honestly, Brett, I don't know if I've been happier. I met my current boyfriend at the Dairy Queen.
Okay.
So, like, I just, like, it feels good.
Stace, this is what I love to hear, you know? And this, often, these sort of guest segments on my show, they go off the rails and then they never come back. What I like about this is that you told us a story that got us to a dark, sad place, but now we realize that every sad story has a happy ending.
Yes. Every single sad story.
Every single one.
Yeah, like if you're
we got nothing to worry about. If your
brother died or whatever, don't worry. It'll be happy again one day.
Yeah. It's hey, what goes down must come up, folks. It's the truth. It's the truth of emotional stuff. So you fight through the valley so that you can get to the peak. It's a beautiful thing.
Hell yeah, dude. Put that on a shirt.
Oh, I wish I could. Right now, I got on my Ringmaster of the Shit Show shirt. It's just a funny little joke. I like it. It's just a funny little joke. But man,
yeah, I don't really understand the joke. I think I'm on the outside of the joke, but like I like the font, and that's what's doing it for me.
I actually like the font as well. That's why I got this shirt, because I like the font. The message.
It's good font.
Yeah, I don't think my show's a shit show. I think I think my show's pretty good. But I
think it's a great show. I'm having a great time.
Awesome, Stacey. I love to hear it. But Stacey, I'll tell you this: we are about running out of time. Because we got to call the show here in a minute, but. It was just such a delightful thing catching back up with you and hearing how good you're doing. It's really nice to sort of end on such a high note with you, knowing that you're working at my favorite dessert spot in a new relationship, hopefully with somebody who speaks at a moderate volume. And you're still.
He does.
That's good, and I'm glad that you're still working on keeping animals happy, because I know that's one of your passions. Stacey, it was truly such a delight having you on the show today. I really mean it. It was just such a good time.
What a treat, Brett.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Do I just like leave now?
I'll hang up the meeting and finish up the show. But Stacey, it was truly,
that would be optimal, because like if I had to leave on my own accord, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that.
No, I'll cut it off. I'll cut it off for you, Stacey. You ain't got to worry about it. Stacey, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you giving us your time. And it was so nice chatting with you, and I hope you keep enjoying your time at DQ with the new boyfriend.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, bye, Brett.
Stace, I'll talk to you again soon.
Lobsters are forever.
Lobsters are forever. Folks, lobsters are forever is where we'll end it. Oh, man, what a good time chatting with my old friend Stace, huh? What a delight. She's incredible. I'm definitely going to have her back on the show at some point, because that was a really good time. Also, gave you guys a little peek behind the curtain about what's going on to my camera right. Now you guys have a little background information. Oh, but folks, I think we're getting off on a good foot here in 2021, folks. Positivity. Brett the Mott and How You Been is no longer a show where Brett rants about everything that's going wrong in his life. It's a show where he talks about all the good stuff. Stuff for students is going to take off. We're going to have Stacey Tasty teaching a class on turning old jeans into new clothes. It's beautiful. But folks, I know going from Red Lobster to DQ is definitely a pay cut probably for Stacey. And I always like to pay my guests a little bit of cash. So if you could please donate $1 or $2 if you enjoyed the show. You can click the donate button down below in the info on the channel, or you can type _donate into the chat, and a link will come up that you can click and you can donate. Every $1 you guys send in for donations goes to paying guests on the show, so nobody ever comes in here and donates their time without getting compensated. So please, if you can, throw $1 or $2 into the pot. Also, we had a couple of gifted subs today. Patterson Music hit us with a few gifted subs. Maryland hit us with a resub, which is great. Had a couple of anonymous gifted subs as well. Engstrom with a gifted sub. some bits also from Patterson Music and some other folks. Oh, I had Nathan rating us with 5 people. That's great. We had Bagel gifted a sub. Angstro gifted a sub, which we already said. Oh, man. If you gifted a sub today, thank you so much. Oh, everything's fine. And yeah, if you could throw a bucket to the pot, that'd be great. That money's going to go straight to the guests on the show. What a good time we've had. Wanted to say something else, but I had nothing else to say. This was a really nice episode. It felt like the first time that I've ever ended an episode on a high note, which I think is going to be a goal of mine for the next few weeks at least. Because it feels real good to come on here and not get ragged on by my guest. But folks, thank you so much for watching. As always, I very much appreciate it. I'll be back again, same time, same place next week with a real great guest. Keep an eye on the Discord or my producer John's Twitter. He'll let you know who's going to be on the show. It's going to be a great show next week, same time, same place. And I know I keep mentioning that John's going to get back on doing some regular game streams, but the timing just has to work out for him to figure all that out. But he is going to come back on and do a little a stream for charity at some point here soon, playing Minesweepers. And I think he's going to try to get some guests to come on and do sort of live commentary on him doing Minesweepers. I think that is his plan that is currently being activated. I don't know exactly what it's going to be. He hasn't gotten me all the details, but I think it's going to be really fun and really interesting. It's going to be really interesting, folks. It'll be a real good time. But folks, thank you very, very much for watching. As always, I'll be back next week. Until then, Brett, out!